Hello everybody, this is ZigZagZog coming to you from somewhere in this world, and we are back to continue our playthrough of Empire Total War featuring Darthmod and the 40 unit save version. Starting this episode after a successful one last time where we took over Central America. We finally gave some payback to the Portuguese Navy on the coast of Brazil, and now we're going to turn our attentions to the Indian theater over here. We have a couple new vessels that we built. One is a 5th rate that I thought I was building I couldn't remember that's what I built there, so we're going to bring that over here and we're combine it with the other flute that I built, and we will take it over to the East Indies theater. Now India at the moment seems pretty calm, so we'll just let it remain calm at the moment. As far as our missionary goes, he's converting away. If we want to upgrade our church, whoops, that's not our church school. Oh, we haven't built our church school yet, so we'll just hold off on that. Let's move over to the East Indies Trade Theater. The one thing I want to take a peek at, look at this back here. That's where the Portuguese Navy escaped to. Just a brig. So what probably happened that I didn't notice, and it took place not on camera, at least for me, because I didn't have sight over there. I'm wondering if the British Navy or who else, there must have been some other navy over here that was able to come up against this Portuguese guy, because he had more than a brig last time I saw him. So that explains why he was probably, what I saw is his movement over here was a surrender retreat kind of a move from some battle that took place out of my line of sight. So what are we going to do? It's a brig, so we're going to pound it into the ground and get rid of this thing over here. I got the vessels to be able to do it with. 5th rate and 2 flutes, but a 5th rate against a brig is all I should need. So we're going to take our 5th rate over there and make this happen, and finally kick him out of, at least temporarily, out of our trade nodes. We get some peace finally at last. And this is a highly promoted brig, and the power bar isn't that much in our favor. But I'm going to go in and do it. Probably be highly edited because it's one ship on one ship. But we're going to go through and do this battle. I want the satisfaction of in-person, not auto-resolved payback for some of the things they've done to us. So we'll see you on the high seas. Okay, the wind is not our friend here. So we're just going to get ourselves plopped over here to try and be able to come across wind at least and get this thing started. Once they enclose a little closer, we'll come back and join the battle. I think one thing I'm going to enjoy in this battle is having a 5th rate as opposed to a flute for a change. And although a 5th rate is nowhere near as nimble as a brig that we're going against, it's going to feel that way after dealing with those flutes of the last big battle. Starting to get close, and once we get just a little bit closer, because my guns will outrange him. Let's see how far off we are right now with a quick turn into the wind. In fact, we may just park it here just briefly to ensure getting off the first volley. And there we go. I don't know how successful that was at long range, but we got off the first volley. Be turning into us soon for his first chance. We've already taken out 3 of his guns just from our initial volleys. And he's starting to enclose, get closer into the range of his weaker guns. Nice hit on the back. On the stern, back side of the hull. Let's get turned again. Keep him in our sights. see the hull exploding.
solid hits. You can see he's concerned about hull damage. We've seen some tough hits on his hull in this quick battle so far. Our hull shows minor damage. There's better hits. First few fell into the sea. Nice solid hits. We're starting to show some wear and tear a little bit on our hull. Try to keep the wind to our advantage. Turn back this way. His hull is very weak at this point. We can just get it targeted. And we're coming around. Fresh hull side, although it's taken some damage. Tough hits in there, tough hits. We're showing our power, we're getting him to waver. Once again, he's outmaneuvering us. I'm going to show our stern. Oh, is he starting to shake and turn away? He's wavering a bit because of the hull damage. We're going to turn into the wind. See if we can't track him back down. It's almost within target range again. There go the guns. Kind of turning into us for that shot. How nice of him to do that. And we've got him routed. That last hit right into the hull seems to have convinced him to route. I don't know if he'll stay that way. He is concerned about damage. We're going to continue now and run him down, make sure he doesn't escape. And we got our close victory. And we actually captured the brig, which we're going to use in the trade theater. Why not? So our fifth rate did his job. There is no immediate threat. We're going to send the fifth rate back out as a reward to get into port. Little R&R and fix up the ship. We got 2 more on the way. So is Sweden also at war with them? Actually, Sweden's also at war with us, so maybe that navy will be coming to us. Uh-oh. We got to be aware. Denmark's over here, though, also. I think, aren't they at war with Sweden? I'm just curious now to see all the competing forces that we have. No, Sweden is no longer at war with Denmark. I'm curious who else could have been at war with Portugal that had a ship over there. It was only the British. I don't see any Austrian vessels. So that's interesting. I don't know how their fleet got sent off, but maybe the British came in there with this fleet, or they have another one over there somewhere. Who knows?
All right, what we're going to do is let's head back to the main continent here, see what kind of funds we have left to fix up some armies. Namely, one of those armies is the army in Savoy. The other thing I'd like to look at doing is getting my fleets healed back up. So what we're going to do, these are the ships that need repair. We're going to bring them into our home port. And we are going to get them some badly needed repairs. 667 minor cost overall. And we're going to take the rest of the fleet, send it back up, and continue our blockade up here of Sweden. We'll just split them in half again. I guess leaving the more powerful vessels, or I should say not necessarily more powerful, but the more experienced vessels to blockade the Swedish Navy in place. In fact, we don't need quite as many over here on an empty port right now. In fact, we'll bring one more. Okay. And Sweden is slowly on its own, even though they couldn't bring their completed army across. They're slowly building up an army over here, so we're going to have to be aware of that, and we don't want to move out our forces at home at this time. Now down in Savoy we have a battle-worn army. I'm going to start the healing process on them. Hopefully we have the funds. And we can barely get them all healed, and we're going to start that process. Although probably next turn when I have the range, we're just going to move even in worn out fashion against Milan and see if we can't kick Spain out of northern Italy at least, and then we'll see where we want to proceed from there. At that point I may then reverse forces to come on down, and maybe if nothing else is happening down here, go after the capital in Spain. I think did we already move our unit there? I think we did, because it's still smoking and he would have repaired it by now, so we don't have to move our rake. And I think that's about it, other than let's take a look at our trade. I think we have, yeah, when I was in here I noticed we have one more. We can potentially, now that we've got neighboring borders, trade with Genoa, and I don't know, they're unfriendly, but let's give it a shot. Let's just kind of see what they think. Maybe they'll offer us something in return. Let's just check technologies. We really don't have technologies to give them. This is what they want. Military access indefinite. Well, I'll give them military access. I don't care, but I'm not going to do it indefinite. Let's do military access 10 turns and not ask for a payment, and see if this is enough. He'll go for 20 turns with a payment. Well, at least that's finite, although 20 turns is a very long time in this game, but we'll go ahead and do it. I'm not too worried about Genoa. And there we go. And I think that completes all the trade possibilities for us, and I believe that gets me to everything I scouted out that we needed to do before the next turn. So I think it is about time to hit that next turn button and see what the unknown brings us. See you on the other side. Well, here we are, and there is bad news. There is one thing that happened on that turn that did not thrill me. In fact, you can see it in the background. Portugal has sent up a navy to blockade and do harm to the port up in Great Britain. And let's remember, last time this happened, it was not repaired for years. It was not repaired. It was a thorn in my side and cut down my income. Although look at the income here, 12,550, in spite of losing the trade with Britain temporarily. I wonder, let's take a look. Church school is built down in India. Successful mission down in Spain. We'll just send our rake right on over and keep him going while we're thinking about him. 63% sabotage. Ooh, this time we did not succeed, but we escaped with our life. Good news. And finally we have some fleets arriving. But what we're going to do is move on with a land battle. This is, in my mind, And I'm really all about taking it to Spain right now, right quick, before they have a chance to reinforce and do anything about it. So we're going to take our army out of Savoy. Actually, I thought I had destroyed the walls there. Let's do that. I'm trying to destroy walls where we don't need them, or whenever I can. Let's put it that way. Because walls are not friendly all the time with the big 40 unit battles that you experience in this particular mod. Savoy, it looks like we actually probably could move the whole army out of there and still not go negative for us. So that's just exactly what we're going to do. And we're going to go take over Milan. All right, it's in our favor. They're going to refuse surrender, and we're going to fight this one out on the battlefield. We have 2 artillery pieces to their 2 mortars and an artillery piece, so we vastly outnumber them. However, they can do some damage quick with their various artillery pieces. So let's get on in there, see if we can make this one happen. All right, we really are right on the edge of town here. And my own artillery piece, really based on the fact that their zone kind of slopes off into the distance, I don't really have a lot of high ground with which to place my artillery. As a matter of fact, it started out placement here, and that's about all I can do is cover this side of the zone. So we're going to start our artillery right here where it was placed. We're going to protect it with some infantry. That's going to be sufficient. We're going to keep one of our units of cavalry back here as additional protection. Oh, actually, as a matter of fact, we're going to keep the pike. I didn't even notice them at first. We're going to keep the pikemen back here against any cavalry incursions. We're going to put our own cavalry not totally on the flank, but right here to be able to move around town and get to where we need them to get. And unlike other turns or other battles where we have the mortars, I'm keeping ourselves very close up because it's a city. There's going to be a lot of things to potentially block those mortars from hitting us. We shall see if this is the right plan, but this is what we're doing. We're going to put down this side the cavalry all the way out to the flanks and fill in some spots with infantry. And we got our commanding general here and a little bit of a backup to help move through the city. And about the only thing I'm going to do is put the commanding general behind this big old building here. And see if we can protect him that way. Okay, besides that, I think we're ready to go. We're going to start with our artillery, see, because if we do have sight of something important of theirs, namely artillery or mortars, that's where we're going to direct the fire. The demi-cannons are very limited. They got them behind protection. Yeah, guess what? Their mortars are right out here in the open. We're going to bring our cavalry off in this direction. And we are going to retarget the artillery to the back as we move our cavalry forward. And we got militia. So fortunately, they only brought militia up to help out their mortars, so that's the good news. General's bodyguard. That distance, the cavalry look like little bunnies hopping over their defenses. Okay, one is gone, the other is gone, and we are time to get our cavalry out of there and retreat.
No, don't be drawn back in. Retreat, retreat, I said. They have a habit, if some lingering units get caught into battle, they all turn back to aid. See if we can get out of here this time. There we go. I can target on, whoop, they're running away now. Okay, it's now time to start moving forward. And what we'll do is we will halt their fire against who I targeted, and we will change it to let the AI figure out who to target. No, they seem to be aiming in the wrong direction. We're going to target right in front of us on the militia. And we're going to start taking the rest of our army through town. This wing will come around town. Including the cavalry on the wings. We have their cavalry, their artillery placement up there. I sure do love in my speech to mix up cavalry and artillery constantly. Is not able to hold against the artillery barrage. Target the next militia on this side. And fortunately, having them place their artillery behind there, a lot of their shots are running into the buildings ahead of them. One just got demolished and destroyed. Gives us a little bit of protection as we start moving up. One thing we can do is once again call on the cavalry to go against their artillery. And over on this side, they just seem to be bringing everybody in to work against the artillery units a little bit. But this force that we have here, if they get close, I got the pikemen to run out, and if they get not quite as close, we've got our line infantry to help bring fire upon them. And it is now time to run down the demi-cannons. Some buildings here are just rubble. Poor Milan. In fact, we'll bring some infantry here to kind of seal them in a little bit. Fresh, active. We're going to run both these units up. That's armed citizenry, so we should be able to handle them. And a general bodyguard trying to rally the troops. Well, he's now going to get targeted too. We're going to keep our cavalry, keep its eyes on the enemy general. And they are yet again rallying back here, so we will reapply artillery. How are we coming around on this side? We have advanced. So we're going to advance some more. And they have a strong position behind fence.
but we will also bring our cavalry down this way to help or root them out once we get a little bit closer. Bring these forces down to prepare against this unit that's well entrenched behind a wall also. But we got cavalry support if we need to outmaneuver them. And drum and fife, not totally coordinated in the beat from unit to unit, but we are advancing. And they are coming out now too. They know they're outflanked with the cavalry. Let's move up to engage. Hustle, guys, hustle. We beat them to the punch. It's going to be close. Pretty close, pretty even. Artillery has the militia on the other side running. I can see in the distance, so we're going to retarget the enemy general. And let's end this little fight on the side with a good old cavalry charge. From the rear, of course. There's no better kind of cavalry charge, is there? Wavering already. Let's stop the gunfire. And they are in full retreat. Okay, our other forces that we're bringing up against this entrenched line have come through. We've got to find a suitable terrain in which to line them up. That'll have to work, and we're going to run them the rest of the way. And the general's bodyguard has run off, but he rallied yet again. That tenacious armed infantry soldiers come back to meet them. Oh, and they're coming out. Ooh, this line is forming very, very close to each other, with them coming out to advance. Shoot into our rear here. Come on. Hold fire. And we're getting off the first rounds of this final battle. Final regiment. Took a position to try and get my flank, but they're going to fall long before they're able to bring too much fire to bear on my flank. Besides, the armed citizenry is now fled, and we shall turn to face them. And this thing should be over very quickly. And to ensure that tenacious armed citizenry does not reappear, cavalry will go out against it, and they are all retreating now, so this should be the final blow. Yes. Heroic victory, and we have taken over Milan. Good job, guys. We only lost 186. Amazing results. And we have yet another region captured. Let's see if we can do a little repair up here. Let's see, I think what we're going to do is let's highlight everybody, and we'll repair any new ones that we need to as much as we can. All right. We'll wait for that repair to take place, and I believe we're at peace all around everybody at the moment. So we are doing okay right there. Now we got some funds to spend everywhere else. I don't have any other armies to heal other than... No, I was able to fix that fleet there. So we are all getting healed up amazingly well all of a sudden. Let's just see the public order in Paris. Not bad. I can probably end up moving the rest of the forces out of there if I need to. Because what I'm probably going to do next, the plan is withdraw my armies here, since we are, at least until they declare war on us, we are surrounded by peaceful nations. We will take our force back down towards Madrid. I think that's going to be our next target on the continent. We'll see if we can knock Spain out of the battle. We're paying back everybody slowly who declares war on us, and if we knock out Spain, why the heck not move on to Portugal? So we end up doing a lot more in the continent than we were planning, but we weren't the ones that instigated it all, so we're just trying to end it all so we don't have to worry about it again. Oh, I do have this one unit that I can repair here, and the other thing I want to do is build... Yes, we need a militia to cover the port. Okay. That should be it in the continent. Let's take a look at our fleets. And this is the one we took out after the Battle of the Coast of Brazil. We're going to bring back and do some healing here. And that one's done. We also have a fleet arriving out here in the East Indies. Just as well, I'm wondering if we need to go and knock out, so I don't have to worry about them doing it at their bidding. Knock out this Swedish fleet over here. Let's just see what they look like first. We got a sloop, which we can deal with, but they got 2 5th rates. So right now, can't quite do it. Because I do have 1 5th rate, and I do have flute, but it's not quite what I want to deal with over there yet. So maybe when the other 5th rate comes back after its battle against the Portuguese Navy, because that would give us 2 5th rates and some other vessels, maybe a flute or 2 to take him out. And said 5th rate, let's get him back for some repairs. And while we're at it, we have one more Admiral's flagship without the Admiral that we're going to head over there to. And then we'll be able to move against that Swedish Navy sitting there. And have we looked at, or have I showed you the fleet that has been scaring the heck out of me, but Spain has, for whatever reason, not used it? Yep, there it is, still sitting there. I own every trade node at the moment in the Straits of Madagascar, but sitting right in the middle of it is this massive Spanish fleet, which is why I'm probably anxious right now that we've taken out Milan, to move against Madrid, because I think once we get rid of the capital of Spain, Madrid, this fleet disappears, and boy, I'll sleep a lot better at night not knowing they're sitting, or knowing they're not sitting in the middle of this trade node. Okay, we are repaired up here. And let's just take a quick peek. Yeah, it looks like we can continue to move our force out of here, take it out of Niagara, and then we're going to start moving up this road back over here to get up to Montreal. Let's move them here to make sure my estimate is correct. Okay, yes, public order is satisfactory. We are on our way to kick Portugal out of the Americas. And once again, I better qualify that depending on what we're looking at up here. As far as it looked like they brought a decent force over, but I also think that we will match up. So we're about to find out here very shortly. As far as down in the Americas, what I'm thinking of doing at this point is, well, we got to get repaired first, but looks like we would be able to move everybody out of there. So what I'm going to do is move over to the port. And yes, we are at least satisfactory in public order. We're going to move over to the port. And once we are healed next turn, I'm going to probably move this force a little more to a little more of a central location. Perhaps Punda, or perhaps one of these two also. San Jose de Aruna and or Martinique. One of these places is where we'll kind of centrally locate this other backup force. Right now, not needed, but ready to be called upon if necessary. And I don't want to forget this lone Spanish soldier foraging around. So maybe once they're healed, I'll drop off a force of, let's just see what he is. A general and some skirmishers, some bowmen. So what we'll probably do is drop off a portion of this force, portion of this army to go deal with them, and take the rest to our central location for the moment. So that's kind of the plan. One thing we can do is I will need to build militia for the port, and then we'll be set. So we're pretty well set in the Americas now, where I think we're pretty well set all over the place. And what we'll probably do, I think we're time-wise, rather than risk running into some big time consumer that appears on the mid-turn, what we'll do is we'll hold off and start mid-turn at the beginning of next episode. See if we can continue being successful. We get surprised temporarily, and then we seem to recover and get things back under control. In the big picture, what I'd like to do is get rid of Portugal, so my immediate threat on the Americas is gone. I will keep this force then very close to Iroquois territory, and I may have to do a slow build on it, keeping pace with the Iroquois down here, because right now the Iroquois have a significant army. No, they used to have a more significant army in their capital, but it's a little less now, so we'll see. We'll have to keep an eye on the Iroquois there, because eventually I have to take over, as part of my victory conditions, I have to take over the little province here that they traded with Portugal is now owned by the Iroquois. So eventually when I want to take that over, and eventually when I want to get New York, I'm going to have to go to war with Iroquois and Great Britain. So I'm kind of holding off on New York till the end, because I don't want to have to go on a prolonged battle with Great Britain unless I'm able to outpace their naval improvement. So anyway, there's the overall picture. And then once we finish up in the Americas and then get ready for the last bit of action, we'll then focus our attentions to India, where there are quite a few provinces that we need to take and grab. And there is where we will start seeing some of our biggest land battles to date. So I hope you're enjoying the playthrough. If you have some different ideas or different thoughts on where we need to focus, where you'd like to see us focus, hey, let me know. I'm always open to hearing new ideas. Drop me a like, leave me a comment, subscribe if you haven't so you don't miss any future episodes. And I want to thank you all for watching. I sure do appreciate each and every one of you that takes the time to give me the time. Thanks so much.